As the world continues to be plagued by the aftereffects of COVID-19 coupled with the global recession triggered by rising inflation, a lot of countries have seen their currencies fall in value. But which African countries in particular have suffered the most damage? We're going to answer exactly that in this video. So, why do some currencies even suffer more than others in the first place? To answer that, the value of a currency varies. The value of a currency is influenced by a wide range of macroeconomic and microeconomic factors, including interest and inflation rates, economic growth, political stability, trade balance, stimulus programs, and more. A currency that is weak is one that is losing value in relation to other currencies. The characteristics of the nations with the lowest currencies are poor governance, political unpredictability, rising everlasting debt, systemic corruption, protracted internal conflicts, and general economic decline. Today we are going to be looking at exactly which countries fall in this category. 10. Malawi, the Malawian kwacha. The British pound sterling, the South African rand, and the Rhodesian dollar were among the earlier forms of money that were used in the Malawian economy before the kwacha. Although the kwacha's exchange rate is adjusted on a regular basis, it has floated since 1994. Although the kwacha's exchange rate is adjusted on a regular basis, it has floated since 1994. Bingu wa Mutharika instituted administrative measures to fix the exchange rate with other currencies in 2005. The Reserve Bank of Malawi issues banknotes. The kwacha was devalued by 34% in May 2012 by the Reserve Bank of Malawi, which also removed the currency's link to the US dollar. The kwacha replaced the Malawian pound in 1971 at a rate of 2 kwacha to 1 pound. As of 24 November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 1,224 kwachas. 1 US dollar was equal to 1,026 kwachas. 9. Rwanda, the Rwandan franc. When Belgium seized the formerly German territory in 1916, the Belgian Congo franc replaced the German East African rupiah as Rwanda's official currency. Up until the introduction of the Rwanda and Burundi franc in 1960, Rwanda utilized the currency of the Belgian Congo. 2 years after gaining independence in 1964, Rwanda started issuing its own francs. The 1994 genocide shattered Rwanda's flimsy economic foundation, left the populace, especially women, severely poor, and damaged the nation's capacity to draw in both domestic and foreign investment. But Rwanda has come a long way in stabilizing and enhancing its economy. In 1916, when Belgium seized the formerly German territory, the Belgian Congo franc replaced the German East African rupiah as Rwanda's official currency. The National Bank of Rwanda announced on February 7 that new 500 and 1,000 franc banknotes would go into circulation on February 11. These banknotes will have improved quality and new security measures that will lessen wear. To help differentiate it from the 1,000 franc note, the 500 franc note's front has a completely new design and a brown background. As of 24 November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 1,290 Rwandan francs. 1 US dollar was equal to 1,080 Rwandan dollars. 8. Burundi, the Burundian franc. Burundi uses the franc as its currency. Although since Burundi started printing its own money, coins have never been struck in centimes, despite the fact that it is officially subdivided into 100 of them. Centime coins were only produced when Burundi was using the Belgian Congo franc. The Bank of the Kingdom of Burundi started issuing brass 1 franc coins in 1965. Coin issuance was taken over by the Bank of the Republic of Burundi in 1968, and aluminum 1 and 5 franc and copper nickel 10 franc coins were released. Edges on the 5 and 10 franc coins are continuously milled. In 1976, alternate versions of the 1 and 5 franc coins bearing the coat of arms were released. New 10 and 50 franc coins were released in 2011. Although since Burundi began producing its own currency, coins have never been minted in centimes, despite the fact that it is theoretically divisible into them. Centime coins were only produced when Burundi was using the Belgian Congo franc. In 1916, when Belgium annexed the former German colony, the Belgian Congo franc replaced the German East African rupiah as Burundi's official currency. By the end of 2015, there were plans to introduce a new East African shilling as a unit of exchange for the 5 East African community members. These strategies haven't happened as of September 2022. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 2,471 Burundian francs. 1 US dollar was equal to 2,069 Burundian francs. Seven. DRC, the Congolese franc. The value of the franc was the same as the Belgian franc. Since 1916, the Congolese franc has also been in use in Rwanda, and starting in 1952, the currency has been issued jointly in the names of both countries. Rwanda adopted its own franc following the Democratic Republic of the Congo's independence in 1960, and Katanga also issued its own franc between 1960 and 1963. The Democratic Republic of the Congo was, after South Africa, the most industrialized nation in Africa at the time of its independence. Since then, war, political unrest, and corruption have severely hampered further development, leaving the DRC with one of the lowest GDPs per capita and HDI ratings, making it one of the world's least developed nations. In addition to silver coins worth 50 centimes and 1, 2, and 5 francs, whole copper coins in the denominations of 1, 2, 5, and 10 centimes were also introduced in 1887. In 1896, the minting of silver coins came to an end. The 5, 10, and 20 centime coins with holes were first issued in copper-nickel in 1906. The copper coins remained in circulation until 1919. Coins worth 50 centimes and 1 franc made of copper-nickel were first issued in 1921 and 1920, respectively. The independent state of Congo printed notes for 10 and 100 francs in 1896. The Bank of Belgian Congo first issued 20 and 1,000 franc notes in 1912, and then 1, 5, and 100 franc notes the following year. Only until 1920 were 1 franc notes printed, and in 1937 10 franc notes were issued. In the 1940s, 500 francs and 10,000 francs were established, with the latter occurring in 1942. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 2,455 Burundian francs. 1 US dollar was equal to 2,075 Burundian francs. Six. Tanzania. The Tanzanian shilling. Prices in Tanzanian shillings are expressed as XI, where X represents the amount above 1 shilling and I is the amount in cents. A hyphen or equals symbol denotes a value of 0. For differentiation, the abbreviation TH is occasionally prefixed. Only the prefix is utilized if the amount is written in both words and numbers. The shilling in Tanzania is a fairly advanced unit of currency. It took the place of the East African shilling in 1966 following Tanganyika and Zanzibar's union. After both colonies won their independence from Britain, they merged to form the Tanzania we know today. The first Tanzanian coins, which were created in the same year, featured Julius Kambarage Nyerere, the country's first president. The United Republic of Tanzania uses the Tanzanian shilling as its official unit of exchange. Other currencies are, nevertheless, frequently accepted there. The euro and the dollar are 2 examples of these currencies. Many visitors from the United States and Europe do not necessarily need to exchange their money, as it can be a costly and challenging process. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 2,788 Tanzanian shillings. 1 US dollar was equal to 2,332 Tanzanian shillings. Five. Uganda, the Ugandan shilling. In 1966, the the East African shilling was completely replaced by the first Ugandan shilling. A new shilling worth 100 old shillings was created in 1987 as a result of significant inflation. Most financial transactions in Uganda are conducted in shillings, which are typically stable and have minimal spreads on the country's highly effective foreign exchange market. Additionally, the US dollar is frequently used. They also use the pound sterling and, increasingly, the euro. A new family of notes with a unified banknote design that showcases Uganda's rich historical, natural, and cultural heritage were released by the Bank of Uganda on May 17, 2010. They come with enhanced security features as well. All 6 denominations feature the same 5 images: a profile of a man wearing a Karimojong headdress, Ugandan mat patterns, Ugandan basketry, the map of Uganda, the Independence Monument, and the Independence Monument. The new notes were not a currency reform, according to Bank of Uganda Governor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mudibile, and they were not influenced by politics. He said that the redesign was necessary in order to follow international standards and combat counterfeiters. Uganda is the first nation in Africa to roll out Spark, an advanced security feature, on a standard banknote series. A number of banknotes have the optical security feature Spark, which is recognized by central banks all over the world and used to prevent counterfeiting on them. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 4,474 Ugandan shillings. 1 US dollar was equal to 3,740 Ugandan shillings. 4. Madagascar, the Malagasy ariary. The official money of Madagascar is the ariary, which is divided into 5 arambalanja coins. Arambalanja signifies 1 iron weight, while ariary is a Spanish word that indicates actual. The currency's ISO code is MGA, and R is used to symbolize it. The Malagasy ariary is printed, issued, and managed by Banki Foibeni Madagascar, Madagascar's central bank. The 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and 10,000 ariary notes are in use, along with the 1 and 2 arambalanja, 1, 2, 4, and 5 ariary coins that are currently in circulation. Since 1961, coins and banknotes have been issued with denominations in the official francs, as well as the semi-official ariary and arambalanja. The franc denomination was especially prevalent on early issues. Higher denomination coins, however, were only produced in ariary beginning in 1978. New 500 ariary 2,500 franc and 5,000 ariary 25,000 franc notes with ariary placed slightly more prominently were released in 1993. The ariary denomination is prominently displayed, while the franc denomination is printed in small text on banknotes that have been printed since July 31, 2003. Now, lower denomination coins are also produced in ariary, but the primary design remains the same. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 5,184 Malagasy ariary. 1 US dollar was equal to 4,334 Malagasy ariary. 3. Guinean franc. In order to replace the CFA franc, the first Guinean franc was launched in 1959. Aluminum bronze 1, 5, 10, and 25 franc coins in 50, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000 franc banknotes were available. On March 1, 1963, a second series of banknotes lacking the 10,000 francs were released, bearing the date 1st March 1960. This series, which has more colors, greater embossing, and improved security measures, was printed by Thomas de la Rue without an imprint. 1962 saw the introduction of new coins made of cupronickel. In 1985, the Guinean franc was reinstated as the country's unit of account on par with the Sile. The coins initially came in 1, 5, and 10 franc denominations, and were manufactured of brass-clad steel. Later, brass 25 and cupronickel 50 franc denominations were introduced. Initial banknote issues included 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, and 5,000 franc notes. The date of issue is prominently displayed as part of the overall design on the lower left corner of each note in Guinea, setting these notes apart from those of other nations. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 10,311 Guinean francs. 1 US dollar was equal 8,600 Guinean francs. Two, Sierra Leone, the leone. The leone, which is accepted as legal cash in Sierra Leone, is the second weakest currency in Africa. The currency's code is SLL, and its symbol is lei, which is written before the quantity. The Bank of Sierra Leone, the nation's central bank, creates, distributes, and manages the leone coins and bills. The 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and 10,000 leone banknotes are also in use, along with the 10, 50, 100, and 500 leone coins. Based on its exchange rate with US dollars, it is regarded as a weak currency. Informally known as Ceylon, Sierra Leone shared borders with numerous other African nations, including Guinea and the Atlantic Ocean. It is distinguished by a tropical climate with a variety of habitats, from savanna to rainforest. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to approximately 21,650 leone. 1 US dollar was equal to 18,900 leone. One, Sao Tome and Principe, the dobra. The dobra, the official currency of Sao Tome and Principe, is the weakest currency in Africa and is abbreviated as DB. The Banco Central de Sao Tome and Principe, the nation's central bank, prints, issues, and manages it. You might find it interesting to know that dobra banknotes are issued in denominations of 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, and 200 dobras, while dobra coins are nickel-plated steel coins with denominations of 1, 2, and 10 centimos. On Central Africa's western equatorial coast, you may find Sao Tome and Principe. The Portuguese explorers were the ones who took their time to inhabit this area and served as the trade center of Africa at that time. It is interesting to note that no human nor any found living in this country as early as the 15th century until it was discovered. They focused primarily on growing cocoa and other agricultural products. This nation continues to be among those in Africa with the most stable democracies. As of November 2022, 1 British pound sterling was equal to 24,617 dobra. Approximately 1 US dollar was equal to 20,690 dobra. The Sao Tome and Principe dobra concludes our list of the 10 worst performing currencies in Africa. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and also please don't forget to subscribe, and we'd be more than happy to have you as a member of our growing community here on Think Rich Africa. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.